Stay locked in between the lines with Coach Stella.
I got 4 of them for you this week, bro. 4 games on the Stellascope for this week for week 6. First game, Toledo Central Catholic traveling from Toledo to play St. Ignatius. I'm going to say this again. St. Ignatius for sure has to have the hardest schedule in the state of Ohio. But the reason why I put this down is because Toledo Central Catholic is going to be a big player in Division III playoffs. So even though Iggy is 1-4, number one, look at the 4 losses they had, for one. And for two, they still Division I team. So Toledo Central Catholic, a Division III team, you traveling from Toledo to play a Division I power, that's always going to let you know where you stand at in week 6. And then also from us being in our valley, in our area, that lets me know who Chardon, Villa St. Joe's, Ursuline, some of our better Division III teams in Northeast Ohio, kind of gives me an eye on what they may have to potentially get through if they make it deep in the playoffs trying to win a state championship, because Toledo Central Catholic definitely is the favorite. So that's the first game. Second game, sorry about that, Glenville at St. Ed's. We was at the game last year. It was a tight game. Glenville, very young. Coach Ginn been saying that every year. This is the youngest team he's had, but he's also been saying this is the most young talent he's had. They getting better every week. It's nothing like a test like going to play at St. Ed's, the back-to-back Division I state champions. And then St. Ed's is coming off a loss, so I'm sure they're going to be geeked up and want to get that bad taste out their mouth. So that's the second game we got there, Glenville at St. Ed's. Third, our last 2 games, local, Struthers at Hubbard. Struthers just lost a tough game to South Range, just lost their first game. It's going to be interesting to see if Jason Dukes plays, if he doesn't play. The good thing, if he doesn't play, they kind of got a game under their belt without him. So I think they kind of know how they need to play moving forward. And Hubbard is a good quality opponent. I've been playing good football for the most part. So Poland got the best of them last week, but it's still a good test for Struthers after coming off a South Range loss. And then also for Hubbard after coming off a Poland loss. So it's a good test for both teams and kind of get to see which program bounce back after a tough loss. And then going back to the other side of that coin, the 2 teams that won those games we talked about, Poland is at South Range. We seen Poland 2 weeks ago against Canfield. I kind of thought they started off a little sluggish, a little sloppy in the first 2.5 quarters. I think some of that could be related to their schedule. I don't think it was as tough as Canfield and some of these other teams we've been talking about. And then South Range coming off a big win at home. Our coaches always get nervous when you get a big emotional win, and then they always worry about that next week.
That hangover,
especially when you're dealing with kids. They're naturally emotional. They're naturally going to get caught up in the hype and the emotion of everything that's going on. But a good staff can keep them focused, which I'm sure Coach Rock and his staff can do. But I think that's also going to be a good game, Poland at South Range, because that's going to be another physical game. And I can't wait to read about it and see the outcome. So that's our 4 games for the Stellascope preview for week 6. I'm going to run through them one more time. Toledo Central Catholic at Iggy, Glenville at St. Ed's, and our 2 local games, Struthers at Hubbard and Poland at South Range, baby.
Yeah, man. Iggy been that little. They've been through a gauntlet this year.
And they only won in the week 6.
Right. So when people say, "Is it time to talk about Ignatius and what's going on over there?" That just goes to show you that no program is exempt from turnover, right? So we've seen it. We've seen programs have 8-year runs, 6-year runs, and then have a 4-year, 6-year thing. So it just goes to show you that no program is exempt, man. No program is exempt.
Especially in Cleveland, like when you look at St. Ed's and Iggy, they kind of run in waves too, to where Ed's will have the better team for 3-4 years. And then it's almost like Iggy don't like it. Iggy come back strong for the next 3-4 years. They're always great programs through and through.
Right.
To my knowledge, Iggy been a great program since the 80s, pretty much. St. Ed's been a great program pretty much since the late 90s, early 2000s. Consistently, both programs. But they kind of flow like that. It's weird. I kind of been paying attention to it. Even back to when I was in high school, both teams are always good, but it seemed like one team kind of has the edge over the other. And whatever team kind of has the edge over the other normally is that team that's making the state championship runs or winning the state championship. So,
what is always a good litmus test to tell like the strength of the programs and whatnot is when they're winning, you're not surprised.
Right.
Like it's like, oh, they when you hear St. Ed's, it's like, okay, yeah, that sounds about right. You know, you get what I'm saying? So even if a year or 2 from now, if you hear Iggy's doing super well, you wouldn't be surprised.
Nobody will be surprised at all.
So, yeah, there's some good matchups, man, for the
sure,
Stellascope preview. Appreciate you, Coach.
Be checking in, man. Keep it locked in, but in between the lines with Coach Stella, you feel me? You did.